Hello, welcome. Phil Ed2Me here. Let's look at some practical ways to learn multiplication. What you want to do is try and get your children to learn multiplication using all the learning strategies: VAC, visual, auditory and kinesthetic. I want to look at 3 practical ways to do this. Now you can buy paper number lines, or you can use some scrap paper and draw a number line. Try and draw a number line to 20, 40 or even up to 100 in stages of 1. Or you can buy something like this, Unifix. This is a Unifix number line and they are really good because what you can do is count up in multiples using blocks. For example, the good way to count up is to start by counting in 2s and then 5s and then 10s, and that's a starter, a good start, because that's what children in foundation stage or in year 1 start to learn. Let's have a look at this number line. So we're counting up, as I said, we'll start with 2s. So you can put the blocks in there and you can start to count in multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And then, like I said, count up in 5s. There you go, 5. So they would go 5, 10, 15, 20. And if your child gets really good, try and get them to count backwards. 20, 15, 10, 5. Or even get them to skip. 5, 15, 3 5s are 15, or 4 5s are 20. You can build up counting in multiples in that way. And then again, counting in 10s, that's quite simple. 10, 20. Of course, what you need to do is to move on and start counting in other multiples like 3s and 4s. And you can easily see how that's done. Here's 3s, for example, 3, 6, 9, 12, etc., etc. Or 4s, very quickly, 4, 8, and so on. You get the idea. That's the one and the first and the classic practical way of learning and counting up in multiples. The second one I want to look at are using objects. Now you can count any objects, but the idea is to put the objects into sets or groups. Let's have a look at counters. So you would say to your child, you've got the objects, these are counters here. I want you to try and build 3 sets of 2. So there's 1 set, 2 sets, use a different color, and then 3 sets. 3 sets of 2, they can start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 6. Or they can count in 2s, 2, 4, 6. 3 sets of 2 is 6. When you're building groups or sets, it's handy to have areas that the children can place the objects or counters into, because you can then say, here's just some paper discs. There's 3 areas to put your counters into. What I want you to do is build 3 sets of 3. So you can start to put the counters in. There's 3 in there, there's 3 in there, and then there's 3 in there. So 3 sets of 3 objects is 9. Quite easy. And of course you can see how you can build that up more. You can sort of say, okay, build 3 groups or 2 groups. Let's just build 2 groups for now. Take that one away. 2 groups of 5. 2 groups of 5. How many is that? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the children will use all sorts of strategies to count the counters. But essentially, you are developing multiplication in a good practical way by counting up groups. The third way I want to talk about is to use building blocks, these little cubes. Who doesn't like building blocks together? Now these are called multi-links and they're available online and every school's got them. But what you can do is build them up in groups. For example, what about 5 groups of 2? There's 2, click on another 2, click on another 2, and while you're clicking them on, you can count them: 2, 4, 6, click on another 2, 8, click on another 2, 10. Interestingly, this is an array. Arrays are something the children will learn as they get into Key Stage 2. Now an array is a number of rows by a number of columns. This is an array of 2 rows by 5 columns. 2 times 5 is 10. Here's another building block and another array, which is 3 rows by 4 columns. 3 times 4 is 12. And here's another array, 3 rows by 6 columns. 3 6s are 18. So it's learning multiplication by building groups in as many practical ways as you can. Practical, that's the way. Until next time, bye. Subtraction. 1. Take that 10 that you've taken to the units column, and that will make 17. This is where they can start to get confused.